Hey everybody, this is Jamal, author of Skip the Rat Race, How to Seize Your Bright Future and Live It Now. I wanted to jump online and do a live success tip this week. Now, hopefully you are watching the replay because it is a Saturday where I'm filming, and you should be enjoying your weekend. I'm about to go work out myself after I do this video, but I wanted to jump on real quick and just really share some things that I experienced last week, and I feel are some good tips and strategies to help you. Now, if you've been watching my Facebook posts, or my Instagram, or any of my social media, you would have noticed the content that I shared this week had a lot to do with getting the most out of professional development, whether that be workshops or trainings that you may attend, because normally the typical season begins in the spring and continues throughout the summer into the fall, where workshops are in abundance and development sessions are happening and conferences are happening. And it's good to be a part of these things and to take part so that you can sharpen your skills and grow as a professional as well as an individual. One of the things that I do is when I go to a workshop, I try to make sure that I'm not only bringing back material that would help the organization that I'm a part of, or in my case, help leading. I also bring back things that's going to help me develop personally, because I understand the law of the leadership lid. John Maxwell shares his book in the 21 Laws of Leadership, where he talks about the lid of a leader. The furthest you can go as a leader determines how far your organization will go. And so I try to make sure that I'm constantly growing as an individual, growing in my leadership ability, growing in my craft as an educational leader, growing as an author, as a speaker, as a mentor, and all the other things that I do. And so I went to a conference, and I won't say the name because I don't want to give free advertising, but it was a very good conference the other week down in Orlando, and it was for educators. And I went, as an educational leader, and I took two of my team members who also had leadership positions in the building. And so I took them, and what I did was I had some different strategies that I used this time around. Normally when I go to a conference, I go and I engage in a normal learning process, which for you non-educators, I just want to explain it real quick. A lot of times when we learn something, our brains are trying to assimilate the new knowledge and blend it with the old knowledge so it can have some kind of connection. And so a lot of times that's what I do. I'm in the conference, I'm in the session, I'm in the workshop, I'm taking notes, I'm trying to receive and hear what they're giving. But then at the same time, my mind is going and I'm thinking, okay, how can I use this? How can I use this? How can I use this? So I was intentional this time around to not do that. Meaning I put myself in what's called sponge mode, where I wanted to just simply take in the information and then process it later. So I just want to share with you basically around 6 things that I did strategically to make sure I got the most out of this conference that I went to. And I took two team members with me who hold leadership positions in the school that I lead. And so the first thing we did is we looked at all the conference sessions before we signed up to go, to even make sure that the sessions that were being offered would align with the goals of the organization, or in my case, school. And so I wanted to make sure that I'm not just getting caught up in the hype of here's this conference, be a visionary, learn these cutting edge strategies to move your school or your organization forward. I didn't want to get caught up in the hype or the marketing buzz that's created, because a lot of times conferences do a good job in marketing, but you have to make sure it is what you need. So we sat down and we looked at it and determined, based on the descriptions of the sessions that are being offered, is this what we need to move our building forward? And once we determined yes, we went. Then after we went to the first keynote session, which was the first night, but before we went to any breakout sessions, we got together and we determined what sessions are we going to attend that would help us reach the already predefined goals that we had for our building. When I say building, I'm talking about school building. But again, as a leader, you can apply this to your organization that you lead. So what sessions are going to help us meet this predetermined goal that we have? And so we sat down, we looked at the sessions that aligned with our focus. Then what we did was we made sure that we all attended different sessions. They had multiple sessions offered at multiple time blocks, and we wanted to make sure we all attended something different and didn't have any duplicates, which was different because I saw some people down there and they just attended sessions together, which was a totally different strategy. But we didn't do that. We all went to separate sessions. We reconnected at lunch and then at the end of the day at dinner kind of thing. And we made sure that we didn't attend double sessions. Now, there were a few that it was important that all of us attended just for personal growth as far as the keynotes and some of the leadership sessions. And so after we did that, we selected our sessions strategically to meet our goals, like we said. Then the third thing I did personally, which I know the other two did as well, is during the sessions, I put myself in sponge mode. You heard me say that earlier. I didn't try to process, the new knowledge and see how it fits with what I already knew. I didn't try to think about, hey, how am I going to use this right there in that moment? What I did is I just simply absorbed and soaked it in. I took the materials that they gave me. I listened to what they were saying. I took very good notes, detailed notes, and I was just in receptive mode. That way I could just get it. And then even at the end of the day, I didn't try to think about, how could I use this when I go back? That was not my concern at the moment. My point at that time was just simply receiving, being a sponge. So that was key number 3. And so my fourth thing that we did was, once we returned, we didn't immediately debrief. We waited a couple days to allow the information just to soak in, just to process. And we focused on, what things could we implement immediately that will help move the school forward? And what things need to be implemented at a later time? And what things were for just us personally to help us grow personally? And what things just simply didn't apply? And so we thought about those 4 things and made some notes. And then we had a conversation and just kind of came together about what we thought was the most important things to implement. And then the 5th key was, that as we thought about those things, we had to keep those in mind. So the next thing was we had a phone meeting to talk about it. We didn't have to meet face to face. I believe in being productive. I don't believe in meeting just to meet. So we just had a simple phone meeting. We didn't set up anything on Zoom or a conference call or anything like that. I just simply used the merge call function from my iPhone. And then we all got together, talked about and shared our thoughts. And then it came with some clear action steps that we could do. One of the things we wanted to avoid was come back from a conference and then be like, hey, here's what we learned. And then there's excitement about it for maybe a month or 2. Then after that, nothing else happened. And so we wanted to make sure that the fact that we went, we got the most out of it. So those were some keys, about 5 or 6 keys that I applied to a conference I attended just the other week in Orlando. And so I wanted to make sure I shared these things because as a leader, you may need to change how you look at conferences and what strategies you use so you can get the most out of it. Because you don't want to get on the conference high where you go, you get caught up in the excitement, the dopamine is released in your brain, and then that's it. Nothing else happens from it. You want to get your money's worth. All right, so that's it for this week. I wanted to do this live because I knew it would be a longer time to explain those tips than the typical 90-second success tip. So that's it. Be successful. Today is a Saturday. Go do something fun. Don't do work. I'm about to go work out, and then I have some fun things planned, but I wanted to hop on here real quick. Talk to you soon. Feel free to reach out to me here on social media or go to my website, find out about my mentoring programs. I changed. I don't do coaching anymore. I do more mentoring because my focus is to walk with people as they develop and as they grow and as they achieve their goals. While coaching does that, but I think mentoring is more a good way to describe what I do. So if you have any interest in my mentoring products, go ahead, go there, or have me do a workshop or something like that. You can check me out, or just want to connect. You can connect with me on social media or on my website. All right, that's it. Be successful.